This is the DNA Pest Control Podcast with your hosts, Daniel and Anthony.
How's it going, everybody? Bringing it back to you on this wonderful Wednesday, March 25th. I know it's a little bit late for the podcast, but, some of us actually have work to do during these times. So, not to be offensive in any way, but as a pest control, hopefully, if anyone is in the pest control industry who's listening, you guys know we are still running full board. At least here at my company, we have not had any hiccups, and I don't think we ever will. I think we're going to keep moving forward because in any situation like this, the bugs just don't stop. The coronavirus can keep on coming. The bugs don't care. They're going to keep on coming. They're going to keep coming into the house, into the businesses, infesting areas. We have laws that protect, us as, the community against these bugs. So restaurants have to have us. So we're going to keep on going, guys. We're not slowing down. Anybody outside of the pest control industry, you know what? We're doing great over here, and it might be a good career change to jump ship and jump over, especially in these times, because these times are crucial. Today, I wanted to talk a little bit about how I have changed our services over here and what we're doing. I don't believe that there's a secret in this industry. I want to let it all out there, and I am going to get you guys insight into my head on what I'm doing in my business and what I'm telling my technicians and what I'm expecting from them. And if they do not change or do not conform to what we're doing here and what we need to do, there's other technicians out there that are 100% willing to jump on board, and I'm hiring them. So if my techs do listen in, they need to understand that, in these times, this train is going to keep on going. So if you don't hop on, you know what? We're going to leave you behind. And no hard feelings. That's part of business. If you're not on ship, you're not on board, you're not on that train, you're not helping out, you need to switch. You need to go somewhere where you actually can and you're willing to. So with all these changes with the coronavirus and our services, I wanted just to go over a few things on what we're doing and how my techs are doing things a little bit different. And if you're not doing this as a technician, even if your company hasn't come out and said anything specifically to you, I suggest that you do it anyway, because if you don't, people might be weirded out. You might have more cancels. We, in this industry right now, we are one of the essential services, and I do not want to ruin that for me and for anybody else in this industry. I think this industry is great. I think we have huge potential, huge upside, and I want to keep it that way for me and for everybody. So what I have been telling my technicians and what everyone should be doing is keeping their distance. If you're doing estimates, guys, you can still keep a 6-foot distance. You can keep, 5 feet, 4 feet away from a customer. You do not have to be up in their face. You don't have to be all over them. You can keep your distance. I did it today. I went out to an estimate. I was walking around with the lady. We kept our distances from each other. I kept my face away from hers. So if anything, if I did decide to cough or I needed to cough or whatever may happen, we're all human. So even if we're not sick, sometimes spit goes down the wrong pipe, whatever, you cough, it happens. So I make sure that I am turned a different way so I'm not in that person's face. But I was doing the entire inspection inside their home. Make sure that you're wearing gloves while you're doing the inspections. You are protecting yourself from them just in case they have been sick and from harming them, because you might even be a carrier with the coronavirus. So you need to be careful there. So keeping your distance. My technicians do that as well when they're at the door or they need to collect money or anything like that. Unfortunately, we can't keep our distance in that case, but you can use gloves to grab the money, grab the checks. The great thing is the virus can't stay on the surface for too long in certain temperatures. So as we're warming up here in California, the virus is more than likely going to die if you have cash and checks inside that truck cab while it's heating up. Now, don't take that, too seriously. It's not science. I have not proven that, but I'm assuming from what is going on and what everything's been coming out about the virus, it can't survive as much heat. So I'm just assuming that. But you always want to be careful with hand sanitizer, alcohol wipes, soap. We have that all on the trucks, and they're constantly using them. Make sure you have that for your guys and technicians that you guys are doing that. Now for interior treatments, I do know some companies, I don't know exactly why, but some companies are shutting interior treatments down. Now, I do not disagree with it 100%, but from what I'm looking at and what I'm seeing, we have literally everything to do interior treatments. So we're going to keep doing interior treatments. You need to make sure that you are careful about it, that you are staying safe, gloves. If someone has been sick, my guys are trained to ask them, hey, have you been sick within the last 15 days, 3 weeks, 2 weeks? That we need to find out. If it has, we're not going in there. I'm not going to put my guys at risk. But also, if my guys are sick, I am expecting them to call me. They need to call me. They need to make sure that I'm in the loop on that. So, just be aware of that. So we're all on the same page, me and my guys, but you guys need to do the same thing. You need to ask, the customers who are doing interior treatments. Don't treat this as it's a nothing type of thing. With the coronavirus, there's a lot of people sick with it, and that is what's hurting the U.S. right now. And so keeping your distance, doing your part is going to help. Interior treatments, if you're a company and you have discontinued that, that's totally fine. I'm not against that whatsoever. We just haven't, because we have all the equipment to keep going. So we are planning on it, and we will keep going. Well, exterior treatments don't really change, guys. You shouldn't have customers with you anyway while you're treating the outside, but our exterior treatments are the exact same as before. There's no differences. We are doing the exact same thing. The biggest difference that we are doing now is there's just a lot more hand washing, a lot more using of the alcohol wipes that we have. We're just better protecting ourselves. So just make sure that you are being careful. And if anyone does want to follow you, that's totally fine. Hey, stay 6 feet away, dude. That's it. That's all you got to do. So some of you might be affected in this crazy time because of restaurants. That shouldn't be the case. Quick story is I have a buddy who's out in Colorado. He is hurting right now. I mean, he is really, it's just getting him. They've put what do they call it? Stay at home or whatever, whatever they're calling it. I don't even remember what it's called. But essentially, you got to stay at home. You can't do anything. And his business is actually a safety business. So he does all the checks on all the extinguishers, fire extinguishers and things like that. I don't know if it specifically outlays that his business is one that has to shut down, but he does not have guys. Just like us, it's a single tech. They go out, they check all the extinguishers, they go home. That's what they do. Very simple, quick and easy. They're just inspecting and they're making sure that they're okay. But with that being said, he kind of, I don't necessarily agree with what he's doing, but I'm not the owner over there. He is. But he's essentially shut himself down, which is not okay. So for us, even though restaurants are somewhat closing or others are just only open through the drive-through, you guys have to realize they still need service. Don't shut down, don't close doors, don't do anything, dramatic in these times, because those places still have to get service. We had a huge amount of storage units closed down. That doesn't mean we stop. We are still going. We still go out to those places and we still service them. Because, Rats don't stop. They're not going to not go in because they're closed. They're not just going to, it's, you know what? They're closed for the next couple of weeks. We can't go in. We can't destroy these units. They don't care, so we have to make sure that we're on it. Don't close doors, and if you are, sell your company, give it to somebody, let someone else take care of it. Because that's not, we need to do our due diligence. We need to be there. Now I understand if you are hurting and you're down to just a few clients and you got to shut it. I get it. I'm sorry that happened, but, be there for everybody. Make sure that you guys are doing the best that you can, especially with restaurants, even though they are shut for this time. And even if they're closed, let's say that they closed 100%, there's not even doing drive-through. They don't do takeout orders. They do nothing. Guys, they still have to have pest control, because if they're, they get roaches, they get ants, they have anything in that kitchen, they're going to have bigger issues than just, than anything else. If they get a rat in there and there's rat droppings all over everything, that is going to devastate them when they try to open back up. Everybody talks about what's going on right now, devastating certain industries, and certain companies are, having to shut doors and things like that. Guys, that's economy. That's part of it. That's the world. We had it in 2007 and 2008. Right now is a little bit different because, the government is shutting people down. In 2007, 2008, the biggest difference there is there was no money, so in my opinion, I think we're doing a lot better than then, because they're deciding to shut everything down. It's not being forced, and your hand is not being twisted. Your arm's not being twisted behind your back because you have no money. And because the economy dropped, it's, this was government issued to drop, which is, completely different. So, but us as pest control, technicians and owners, we need to do our part to keep those people safe and keep everything going. And do not make this an excuse to go take, a 2-week, 3-week, 4-week vacation, even though the government might be sending out checks to everybody. Guys, that doesn't mean anything, If you want to give up your business to somebody else, I'm more than happy to take it. Because I'm going to keep on working. I'm going to keep pushing through these times. I'm going to get my guys that money, those hours that they need to keep on going in these times of need. And I'm more than willing to pick up those businesses that aren't going to have a technician out there when they need it. So, guys, do your part, because when you don't, someone else is going to be there, open arms, ready to take that guy from you. And I know that is going to be the most devastating part about this, is because in times like this, and this should excite a lot of you, technicians, I'm going to go specific on this. Sorry that I'm going off on a rant here, but this is the most exciting part about these downturns, is because new millionaires, new billionaires, new people are going to step into those areas, and their businesses are going to explode. Because people are going to get lazy, people are going to get scared, people are going to overact, and they're going to shut doors, and they're going to do certain things. And if you're that technician behind a single owner in a small business, you could be that CEO, that COO. You could be that top management. You could be head of branches. You could be that guy. And so, even in these times that, are kind of scary, and the news is blowing it up to be that way, do your part to stand ground, because when this blows over, you're going to see certain people come out of nowhere, and these big businesses that are out here, these big industries that are running shop, they're going to be devastated, and they might even have some good competition, chomping away at them, because they adapted in those times of need. They changed what they were doing. They changed how they were running their business. These times when it gets a little bit rough, people start going into, shock. They start going into, they start conserving, and they start looking at everything. And when they do, that's when everything gets more, finite, and they become slimmer, they become faster, they become better, and they can start passing competition way, way easier. And honestly, that's my plan, in this. And that's why we keep going, doing interior treatments. We're not taking that away. I've already had people, I have technicians tell me that other companies are already doing that. I'm not going to do that, because I'm not going to show people that we're scared of this. We're not. We're not scared of this. We're okay. We're still working. We're still surviving. And we're going to be that company that's going to come out and service you when you need us the most. You have roaches, you have bed bugs, you have ants, you have spiders, whatever you have, that we're going to take care of you. And that's the mentality that everybody needs, whether you're a tech, whether you're an owner, whether you're in the office. You need that mentality to keep everything going in these certain times. And now even going to the next one, closed facilities, guys. So warehouses, whatever it may be, you got to realize when you're not taking care of that property, or they're not taking care of that property, they are going to have infestations that are going to cost them thousands and thousands of dollars. Let's talk about a warehouse that's full of whatever items, and no one's taking care of it. When no one takes care of that, actually, I'll give you a better example, a real example. Out here we have dealerships. There's a couple of big dealerships out here that have massive lots just full of cars just sitting there doing nothing. They're just waiting to pull in that inventory. And so they have these massive parking lots just full, just kind of out in the middle of nowhere, fenced off, just full of cars. Well, what happened was rodents decided to come in, squirrels, everything you can think of. It's shelter, right? They're just going to do what they normally do. Well, they came in and they started destroying cars. They started chewing on the wires, building nests in the engine block, on top of the engines. They're eating the wires. They're chewing on everything. Well, soon these car companies had these massive issues because all their inventory, brand new inventory, well, now they had to go and dump thousands of dollars back into this vehicle. Well, soon they lose money. They can't just go and add, $20,000 onto a $20,000 car. They can't do that. So what they're doing is that, they just have to sell it as is, and they lose a ton of money. So even though in these times where it's a lot slower, not as many people are going to be buying cars right now. So for this facility, it's huge and crucial that we go in and we protect those vehicles by doing our part to keep all those animals away and out. And if we don't do that, we don't take pride in that, they're going to lose out on thousands and thousands or hundreds of thousands of dollars, or possibly even inventory that they just have to trash because it's not even worth fixing. And it's all due to us, which in turn, they're just going to fire us and find someone else who's going to take care of their property. So guys, you need to make sure that you're doing everything you can in these times to keep everybody else safe, but also being very efficient at your job and at what you do. I can't hit it hard enough, and I can't focus hard enough on that. I think it's so crucial in these times. I know a lot of guys, they take this stuff for granted. They look at their job and they kind of just are like, meh, whatever. Single, married. I've seen it all, and it's sad. It's sad in these times where these guys just kind of don't care. I'm setting up an interview with a guy, and he's negotiating on a phone call interview. I'm not even going to call the guy, to be honest with you. I'm not even going to call him. There's no reason to call someone who's trying to negotiate a phone call for an interview to find a better job. Why are you trying to be so dumb in these times? So guys, be grateful for what you have. Be there for management, be there for your team, be there for your family. Step up, be better, because in the end, when your company starts gaining traction after these times start getting better, and after we find a vaccine to this, and after everything starts going back to normal, you're going to see there's going to be a lot of companies that have been left in the dust and closed down, and there's going to be there's going to be other companies that were just little guys that doubled and tripled and quadrupled in a very short amount of time. And if you're part of that team, you're going to be that guy that's at the top. You're going to be that manager. You're going to be that operator. You're going to be the guy who's controlling a lot of those things and making good money and have great benefits. Because you know what? Everything that has happened, so far in the United States, nothing has been like the coronavirus, but I don't think anything has been worse than any of the wars that we went through, the Great Depression, anything like that. We have more resources today than ever before, and now is the time to step up and focus and get really dialed into what you're doing. And if you don't love your job, quit your job, get out of the industry. If you love it, study it more, get into it, because it is so, so important. So now, guys, I didn't want to make it too long, so that's pretty much everything for today. So just a quick reminder, because I went off a little bit there, but change your service a little bit. You're going to have to tweak some things. You're going to have to do some stuff a little bit different, but keep yourself safe out there. Remember to, keep distance, especially if you're the guy doing estimates or you have to go do an estimate. Don't freak out. Don't turn that down. Once again, we go back to, are you the guy who's going to step up, be good, be careful, be safe, and do that job and keep your business afloat? Or you're going to be the guy who's going to constantly, neglect those people, turn those people down, and eventually shut your business. The guy that you work for, you're going to just shut him out because you're not making any money for him anymore and they can't keep going. You have to make that decision now, but we have everything and we have all the resources to keep safe and stay safe. So, make sure that you are keeping your distance. You are, don't run away from problems, guys. Face those problems, find a solution to those problems. Interior treatments right now in California, that's a big issue with other companies. We still do it. I don't care. We're going to find a solution to that problem, and we're going to run at that because more people will call me if I do that. So that's what I am doing. Also, exterior treatments, remember nothing changes with exterior treatments. So everything there should be good. Listen to some of the previous episodes. We do go over how to do faster exterior treatments, and especially in this time, because if you can do more treatments right now because you're not doing interior treatments, be that guy, step it up. Watch, maybe they're going to take another technician out of the loop, but you will make more money, I promise you. And it'll give you a great opportunity to ask for more money if you are taking on another guy's route because you're getting done with so many. Also, remember, restaurants, they're still open. A lot of them are still open. They still have to have pest control services. Gas stations are the same, and even closed facilities, closed restaurants, closed warehouses, whatever it may be. Remember, rats don't stop, bugs don't stop, insects don't stop. There's still problems going on. So make sure that you are stepping up to that and letting those owners know if they do bring anything up, even as a technician and you're just a route tech. Remember, if they say anything, oh, we're closed now, whatever it may be, change your service up. You're going to have to change your times. We have a pizza place that doesn't open up till 4. Guess what? I'm going out there at 4 because we got to change, and that's okay. But we gotta change with our customers. If we say, no, whatever, you said the morning, we can't come out that late, bye. Well, we're done. We're going to start losing customers to other people. So make sure that even though they are closed or different hours or whatever it may be, that you are changing that and you are manipulating that service to be able to better fit the customer and your client. All right, guys. So be safe out there. Definitely let us know how we're doing. Send an email. It's dnapestpodcast@gmail.com. You can also go to our website, dnapestpodcast.com, and you can contact us through the website as well. We do have Instagram and Twitter. Twitter is DNA Pest Podcast. So that is D, the letter N, A Pest Podcast, and Instagram is also D and, so it is the word and, D and A Pest Podcast. Thanks, guys, and have an awesome evening.